saw some of the emails that you sent to various, agents and people looking for drama, and I found some of their responses very interesting, to say the least. So maybe we could start with some of the meta issues related to drama.
Well, as we're recording, theater seems to be dead because of COVID, at least for the next year or two. But even before that, I mean, a lot of these theaters, what's good is they have their websites, and sometimes they'll videotape productions that they made. But oftentimes the productions are so childish. A set of 4 teenagers go out into the woods, and as they sit around the campfire, they talk about horror films, and then something strange happens, and you get basically B movies that are becoming made for the theater, just like you have Spider-Man or The Lion King in theater. And there's really, people aren't even wanting real drama, or you have theaters that claim to want real drama, but we want real drama from people who live in Eastern Oregon or in, the Quad Cities area, or, people who have spent time in one of the Balkan states. We want something so hot. We want to promote lesbian drama dealing with their own sexual identity in a male-dominated world, or something like that. And it's like, don't you just want to fucking have good drama, human drama that everyone can relate to? But they don't. As far as playwriting itself, I've mentioned before, and when we were taping earlier, just as Shakespeare was way ahead of the Greeks, so were the modernists way ahead of Shakespeare. But there hasn't been that leap forward in productions. I could point out a lot of little things that could have been improved in people like what's his name, Tennessee Williams or O'Neill or Arthur Miller, and a lot of them rely on melodramatic premises, meaning that we have the secret of Willy Loman's affair somehow ruining his son's life, which is one of the major problems with that play. Even though it's a great play, it just doesn't emotionally ring true. We have the so-called rape at the end of Streetcar Named Desire, which, if you actually read the text, isn't really a rape. It's left far more ambiguous. Williams was far better than the adaptations have been. O'Neill, it's the mother and her drug abuse throughout the end of, say, the last play that he wrote, or the last play that was produced from him, The Long Day's Journey into Night, etc., etc. And so theater has to move forward. It has to move forward in this Cassavetes style. I even thought when I was going to write these 5 plays about Camelot that I was going to do Cassavetes in Camelot. I was going to bring down the characters to that realistic level, and I do in some areas, but
yeah, there's a lot of that there, I still think.
Yeah, but as I was writing it, I wanted to have something a bit more going on, and so anyway, I've done 67 plays in 3 years, plus 2 novels in that time, 2 smaller novels, The Custodian's Bitch, and then what did I call it?
The wrestler one?
The noir Kid was it called, on Gorgeous George and his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but you can really see in the 67 plays how I started out from, even though I think the first 4 or 5 plays are better than even what someone like O'Neill did at his best, I've expanded and grown way beyond that. And I did a trilogy on, most of those plays involve a character called Danny Wagner, which is 95% me. It's sort of my version of the Woody Allen persona in a Woody Allen film, but there are differences. And then I did the Genghis Khan trilogy, or the Khan trilogy with Genghis, Ogedai, and Kublai Khan. And then my last 3 plays were my great trilogies on Sargon the Great, Cyrus the Great, and Alexander the Great. But before I did those 3 plays, I did a quintet on the Camelot, the King Arthur characters, which basically follows the major arc of Thomas Malory and most of what we'd call the Vulgate cycle, and then the post-Vulgate cycles of drama. In that the first play deals with Arthur and Merlin and the founding of Camelot. The second play deals with Sir Gawain and his brothers post-Green Knight adventure. The third play follows Queen Guinevere and Sir Launcelot and Sir Tristram and Isolde. The third play is the Grail Quest, and the fifth play is the Fall of Camelot, Modred versus Arthur, etc.